Hi, kids. Today in the ABC Countdown, our letter is G for game day. We're going to be playing charades in our meeting, so I hope we see you there, or if you're watching this later, we saw you there and it was a great time. If you couldn't make it, send me a message and we can make a time to play a game. Let's keep going with our nonsense words that use 4 letters. Remember, these are words that use sh, w, th, and ch. Mish, gotch, fit, wag, laugh, sham, fath, shat, whip, myth, chot, shun, notch, lith, wat, shod, chip, thup. Awesome work. Next, we're going to head back to our sight word sentences. Remember, all you need to do is read along and then listen to check if you were correct. Here we go. The book is open. The bird can fly. I was there once. I think I know. Give her some. Amazing job. Next, we're going to work on writing some sentences. So grab your pencil and paper or your marker and board and come right back if you haven't already. Here is our first sentence. The toad shows the boat. The toad shows the boat. The toad shows the boat. All right, let's take a look. So we have the, seen that a million times. Toad, O and A making a long O. Shows, got O and W together, making that long O sound with S making the Z. And then the boat. Another long O made by O and A working together. Our next sentence is, this is so good. This is so good. This is so good. Okay, let's take a look. This is a sight word we've seen, so it is. So has a long O made by O by itself, and good has that sound made by 2 O's together. Let's take a look at our next sentence. Did you brush your teeth? Did you brush your teeth? Did you brush your teeth? All right, let's take a look. Did you brush? So this word brush has a lot going on. Start off the word, then and then S and H making sh. Your teeth. So in teeth, we've got a long E made by 2 E's together, and then that sound made by T and H. Don't forget your question mark. Our next sentence is, she took a good book. She took a good book. So this one focuses on that sound. Took, good, and book all make with 2 O's. Here's our last sentence of the day. Look at the big foot. Look at the big foot. Look at the big foot. Okay, in this one, another sentence. Look and foot, both using 2 O's to make All right, great job, kids. All right. So on Monday, we talked about characters. Then on Tuesday, we talked about setting. Yesterday, we talked about problems. And today, we're going to talk about solutions, when problems get solved. So, as we talked about yesterday, in order to have a story that is interesting and readers will like, you need to have a problem. In Clifford and the Storm, the problem was the storm. What was the solution? Clifford built a barrier in front of the house using trees and sand to save the house. In Little Red Riding Hood's problem is that her grandmother, and then, depending on the version you're reading, Little Red Riding Hood, get eaten by the wolf. How do they solve that problem? Luckily, a hunter saves them. In The Three Little Pigs, the solution to the wolf huffing and puffing is building a brick house that is too strong to be blown down. Then, in some versions, the wolf climbs down the chimney and the pigs cook and eat him. Normally, a solution to a story is satisfying. Let's think about Natalie's story about Froggy and Foxy. In that story, Foxy doesn't know how to do their homework. So to solve that problem, Froggy tells Foxy that they will help them. In the end, they go into school together to get the homework done. Let's think back to Mike Mulligan. Mike Mulligan's problem is that he has one day to build the basement of the new town hall. He solves that problem by working really hard. To help solve it, more and more people come to watch because Mike and Mary Ann always work a little bit faster and a little bit better when people are watching. Today, I want you to think about the problems that you came up with. Let's start by thinking about some examples I gave you yesterday. Let's say your character is lost in a store and can't find their mom or dad. Well, maybe they could look around the store, but a solution that makes sense might be to go find a security guard or someone who works there to call the family on the intercom. In the end, the family would reunite and everyone would be happy. What about if you had a problem that your character really wanted a nice new toy, but they didn't have any money? They went to their family and asked for the money, but they said, no, you're going to have to earn it. There's your problem. What would a solution be? Maybe your character would decide to build their own toy. Or maybe they would work hard doing chores all summer long so they could buy the toy themselves. Let's think of another problem. Maybe your character found a lost dog. They were so happy about finding this lost dog. But then the owner contacted them and told them that they wanted their dog back, and they were so happy that your character had found it. Your character has a problem. Your character wants to keep the dog, but they know the right thing to do would be to give it back. How do we solve that problem? Well, the bucket filling thing to do would be to give the dog back. Maybe it would work out for your character and they would get to play with the dog anyway. The next thing I want you to do is think about the questions I sent along with this video. The first question asks, what problem did you decide to write about? If you came up with a few problems yesterday and you picked one, write that down. The next question asks, how does that problem make your character feel? Let's think about the example of finding the lost dog. If your character was really excited about getting to keep that dog, maybe giving it back would make them sad. On the other hand, if your character wanted to buy a toy and decided to work really hard all summer to earn the money, maybe it would make them feel determined. Sometimes having a problem can make us feel good, and sometimes it can make us sad or angry. The next question asks, think about what makes your character special. How can this help them solve the problem? If we think back to Clifford in the big storm, remember that Clifford's size, being a very big dog, allows Clifford to solve this problem in a way that a normal-sized dog would not. Imagine if Goethe's school needed to raise a lot of money. If they asked Curious George to help, maybe he would put on a show and do circus-like acrobatics. People could pay to see George do all sorts of things. Maybe if SpongeBob wanted to raise money for Goethe's school, he would have a Krabby Patty sale and make hundreds of Krabby Patties and sell them to raise money for the school. What makes your character special? If your character can breathe underwater, maybe they can talk to fish to solve their problem. If your character has a great singing voice, maybe that will help them. The last question asks, how does your character solve the problem? Think about how you want your story to go. How will it end? How does your character come up with their special way to solve their problem? Let me know if you need any help. You're doing great. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.